what we doing. That's what I do on Brigade Game Sports Talk Radio. Go ahead.
That's one part of it. And then the second part is like, man, I think the Chiefs would have actually beat the Tennessee Titans. You go back and look at that game. The Chiefs receivers had at least 6 drops in key moments.
And Kelsey got hurt, right?
And Kelsey got hurt in that second half. I don't see that happening with New England, so I'm leaning more towards New England, but it doesn't. But I don't think they're gonna get to the Super Bowl.
It's gonna be a dog fight.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot tighter than you think it would be.
Yeah.
So Sunday, first game up on Sunday at noon. You got the Steelers and Jaguars.
Oh, that's
Now, hold on, wait. Before we keep going, did you want to add to the Titans and Patriots?
Nah, we was kind of back and forth.
Okay, so
it's gonna be a dog fight.
You got Patriots?
Yeah, a grunt gonna catch a ball.
You got Patriots?
I got Patriots.
I'm taking the Titans.
And that's a good pick.
I'm taking the Titans.
Derrick Henry look good. I will.
Mariota got
that
hard.
boy is a machine.
Yeah.
Like they not scared. That's like a team that's not scared.
I'm glad Mariota's shaking them leg injuries off, man. He's shaking that whole mental thing because in the early part of the season, he just stood in the pocket and just gave away the ball real quick.
Yeah.
Because he was scared to move because he had freak accidents happen. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm glad that boy playing football, and I think they got the momentum, and that's why I'm riding with Tennessee.
Grunt. They don't got nobody to stick Grunt, and that's the only thing.
That defense is good enough.
Unless Grunt, something happened like Kelsey, Grunt is just unreal.
But you know what?
Unreal.
But then you make a good pick, a good argument with Tennessee.
Sure.
I bring up the name Dick LeBeau because Dick LeBeau is notoriously known for zone blitzes, man, and he's gonna come up with something creative.
And if you understand, New England is weak up that middle.
Yeah.
And then they got
very weak up
problems.
that middle.
People look. We've been in sports. When you got conflict in your locker room and with your coaches and with all that stuff, that people say that carry over on the field.
Shit matters. That shit matters heavily.
And that's why I'm not just saying New England gonna blow it. No, it's gonna be. I got Grunt catching the pass with 0 seconds left to win the game, but I can't argue your pick.
I got the Titans with the field goal.
Yeah. I just
I expect a lot of fuckery and bullshit though during the game with these New England Patriots. I do expect that.
They're gonna cheat,
but I picked the Titans about 3-point victories.
I got the Titans up 4. Tom Brady with 6 seconds left on the 18-yard line. Throw a pass to Grunt in the end zone with no time left.
I think that has the potential to be the second best game of the weekend.
What's the first best?
We moving on.
Yeah. We'll get to that.
Okay. Jaguars and Steelers. That's Sunday's game. That's the first game Sunday. Who y'all taking? Who y'all taking?
If Antonio Brown is healthy, Steelers.
I don't believe in that quarterback over in Jacksonville. He is a good team like this. You pass for 87 yards against Pittsburgh and see what that score gonna look like.
He also rushed for 88 yards too. That's what people forgetting.
Rush for no 88 against Pittsburgh.
I know it, but
what's that black
but at the same time, he also did pass for like 90-some yards against the Pittsburgh Steelers and won.
But you know what?
He's to put up 500 yards.
But you know what?
On the other side of that ball.
I'm picking the Steelers because the Steelers is my second team. But I like Blake Bortles and I like Jacksonville. I picked Jacksonville at the beginning of the season to be a sleeper.
Playoffs.
To be a sleeper throughout the NFL.
But you know what?
Defense cold.
Antonio Brown is the key. And I feel like he was the MVP of the season. But Antonio Brown is the key because Jalen Ramsey is a low-key shutdown corner in the league. And I think Antonio Brown's shiftiness, his ability to go up and get the football, to go deep, to go across the middle, to be a complete receiver would really test him in that manner. If he's not healthy, and that's a calf injury, so guess what? You got to do a lot of breaking down in and outs. I think if he's not healthy, he's going to be limited to mark my words. He's going to be limited to like 4 plays.
They got like 5 other receivers that's dogs,
but
and then you got 26 Savage.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. If he's not, but think about it. If you don't have a healthy Antonio Brown where you can utilize the entire passing tree, you don't need Jalen. I'll put Jalen Ramsey on a Juju or Martavius Bryant. Say, okay, I'm gonna take these guys away.
Hey, Juju is a monster.
Both of them cold.
Juju is gonna be decent.
Bryant cold.
Juju is a monster, man.
Super fast. And what's the other boy on the other side?
Bryant.
You talking about Bryant?
Brian Juju is one more. Yeah, he don't get that many passes, but when he get in the game, he good. He can play.
I don't know what
He
you're
nice.
talking about.
But you know what? One thing.
Don't forget about Jesse James.
Yeah.
He
One
a
thing.
solid tight end.
James, him.
He a solid tight
One
end.
thing about the playoffs.
And then 26 Savage.
Pressure bust pipes, man, and you find out who was made of what when that time
They've
comes.
been there before. And you got that Tomlin, Coach
Yeah.
Tomlin. They've been like this team been there. Like, they, to me, the most dangerous team.
But you know what's scary about the Steelers? They let like I said, the Bears ran the ball like 45 times with Jordan Howard, man. And I'm like, that's what it's going to take for Jacksonville with Fournette in order for them to win that
He's
game.
too young.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ready for that stage.
Bring A
I
Game
don't think
Sports
so.
Talk Radio. Y'all can call in 708-328-8923. We talking NFL playoffs right now. Right now we on Sunday's game talking about Jacksonville and the Steelers. We watching Maryland, Ohio State. Ohio State need to be ranked after this game, man.
They will be.
They need to be because they
will be.
beating the
At
shit out
at
of
the end of the
them.
week, they'll be ranked.
Next Monday.
But
Monday, they'll be ranked.
my pick is the Steelers. You know,
Can't go wrong with that.
flat
Why
out.
you pick the Steelers?
I picked the Steelers because them 3 Bs. Brown, Bell, and Ben. It don't get no better than that. That is like the greatest show on earth right now in the NFL.
They're the best.
I
team.
mean,
definitely
we
right.
can kill you running, and we can kill you long.
They talk about
Or
the defense too.
we got this big old husky white dude back here that you can't bring down, and he can sling that motherfucker
Yeah.
in any awkward way.
Yeah.
And he will play with broken nose and broken bones, so he done proved his toughness. That's why I roll with Pittsburgh, because of Big Ben.
Yeah.
Like, I believe Big Ben gonna get them boys past Jacksonville this time around.
And he's clutch too. Like,
And
He is
you know,
clutch.
you got people talking about, oh, he hit his spell, talking about some, well, I'm not good enough. Well, that's what Big Ben do to motivate himself.
Sarcasm.
You know what I'm saying?
Sarcasm.
Just to give y'all something to feed up off of him. He is a very smart and intelligent dude. You know what I'm saying? But Blake Bortles is a mirror image of Big Ben, and a lot of people don't see that.
In what year?
So
When he was in Pee Wee
let me
football?
tell you like this. When Blake Bortles first got in the NFL, man, if you look at his stats, if you take away the fucking interceptions, the man yardage per game was 400 with about 5 touchdowns. But he had about 5 interceptions though.
Yeah.
So he's a gunslinger. So by Mike Tomlin getting there, which was the coach of the New York Giants, he's basically trying to dumb down the offense for him and dumb down his game until they can get the proper receivers in there. Because he won ball games. He done won 3 straight weeks with 3 rookie receivers. This is Blake Bortles.
Yeah.
So you have to give this man some type of credit. He didn't come from where some bum ass school, or he didn't come from some bum ass game to where he's somebody that need to be overlooked. No, this was somebody coming into the NFL that possibly could have been a number 1 draft pick, to be honest.
He beat out Chad Henne from Michigan for his job, though.
You know what? I would compare him to Big Ben.
I would say
he had to win his
if you look at him and how he plays, and once he get an established receiving core, because his core receivers that he relied on, man, they got hurt. Hearns,
Yeah.
they got hurt, man, and he was dealing with rookies, and he still won ball
if
games.
The boy from Michigan that was.
If my man
quarterback.
from Texas Tech would have just kept his head on straight,
That's a
man.
receiver now.
Yeah. Justin.
Robinson.
No, that's a different one. He came from Texas Tech, man.
Oh,
He was,
okay.
man. He set
Bernard
records ago.
Robinson, that's his name.
But I'm gonna tell you, Bortles don't remind me of Big Ben. He remind me more of a Trent Dilfer, man, for some reason.
No, you
Yeah,
gotta watch. If you look at, because Bortles is about 6'5",
Yeah.
about 6'5", 6'6". He's a big body.
Yeah.
It's hard to bring him down.
Yeah.
And he's a gunslinger. That's what I'm trying to get people to understand. If you look at the season before and look at his play and look at his stats, and then if you look at this season now, you will understand that they trying to put him through a transition, because even his interceptions have went down this year.
What if Matthew Stafford was on that team? You took Blake Bortles off.
And he went through the trials and tribulations Blake Bortles went through this season with losing his top receivers and everything else. Matthew Stafford would not did what Blake Bortles did to get them in the playoffs. I mean, at the same time, that defense got them in the playoffs. But if you look at games, and I talked about this with David Michael compared to Carr. I said, if you look at the games, Blake Bortles outplayed Carr this season, and Carr got a bigger contract and the bigger stage with better players.
Carr fresh off that injury though, right? He played scared this year.
Hey, get the fuck out of here. You
He
can
did
come up
play
with all
scared.
type of excuses that you want.
No, that's not an excuse. I mean, he lost. He didn't make the
You
playoffs.
come with
You
all
know
type
what?
of excuses.
And I thought he
Even-
was going to the Super Bowl.
You know, even with the Raiders, I just think they fed too much into their own hype, and that led to their
but
demise.
Bortles never had a year like last year that Carr had.
Nah.
And he's not better than Matthew Stafford, by the way.
I never said he was better than Matthew Stafford, but I said if Matthew Stafford would have went through what he went through on this team, no, Matthew Stafford. I don't think Matthew Stafford could
I'm
have
talking
did
about if Matthew Stafford was on this team right now, they wouldn't have made the playoffs.
it. No,
On this Jacksonville team.
no.
And Matthew Stafford, you know he cold, right?
I know Matthew Stafford cold, but look what Matthew Stafford got. You got Marvin Jones from Cincinnati. That's a proven receiver.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford got proven receivers around him.
Golden Tate is
Now,
mostly-
now
is it-
Matthew
is-
Stafford didn't have Megatron through his whole season. So now since we talking about Matthew Stafford, okay, we will say that he played a lot better. His stats are a lot better post Megatron.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But look what they went to go equip him with, though.
Yeah.
Oh, so you
get
talking
what I'm
about
saying?
Bortles' receivers not that good.
Boy, those receivers were not that good.
No, they're not.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what people overlook when you judging a quarterback and you talking about a quarterback. You have to look at what's established around him, what type of receivers is around him. And we're gonna go back on Bears talk with Mitchell Trubisky.
System in place.
You get what I'm saying? If he would have had Cam Meredith, I think his stats would have been a hell of a lot better because that's a proven.
You know what? I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of people felt like, and I was one of the people I said, man, I felt like the Bears should have got Deshaun Watson instead of Trubisky. But after watching what Watson did in Houston with DeAndre Hopkins, what's the other fast receiver?
Fuller.
From Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. I mean, he had some skilled receivers, and think about it. As a rookie, he went to Foxborough and almost took Tom Brady in them out.
What he had like 400.
And like
he was rushing.
and he was running. I sat there and I look at Trubisky, who ain't got nobody, man, and you got a coaching staff that held him in. I'm like, you know what? You can see with your own two eyes, he can do just as good a job as Watson can do. It's just that he don't have the players around him or the coaching staff that's going to open up things. I mean, quarterback and it's tricky because it's a lot of factors. You know,
That's what I'm saying.
coaching.
You have
Yeah,
to,
it's
and
tricky.
that's what, and I play quarterback, so you know, so I look at the position a hell of a lot different because people would look at the position and be like, oh, look at his yards, oh, look at the touchdowns, oh, look at the interceptions. You get what I'm saying? But I look at play. Stats really don't mean shit to me, to be honest. Stats ain't nothing but something just to pad your argument, to be honest. If you really want to be honest, if you really want to get down to the nitty gritty, that ain't nothing but just to pad your argument, and how you articulate it in your argument is how you get your point across to people to understand what you're saying. Am I right or wrong?
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Which
You're
is
right.
So-
why a lot of people that never play sports, they depend on analytics.
Exactly.
To prove their point.
So my thing is, when you sit down and talk sports with me, I'm going to talk gameplay.
like
I'm
dumbass
gonna-
Nick Wright, but we
You say
like,
what?
Like dumbass Nick Wright, but we
Oh,
don't go
man,
down
you
there.
always mentioning that dude, man.
hey,
Quit
hey,
getting that
The
dude
world-
publicity
the
on here,
world-
man.
The world can't stand him.
Man, quit getting that world publicity. Quit getting that man publicity on here.
But that's cool. You
But
from a quarterback perspective.
You get what I'm
yeah.
saying?
No, it does. I play
I look at
the Tennessee State,
gameplay.
Yeah.
I look at gameplay, game by game, situation by situation. That's why. And I'm gonna go off a little bit, and I'm gonna just go off a little bit, just a little bit. When it was LeBron James, everybody bring up his stats and everything else, but I stopped breaking down gameplay in certain situations
Yeah.
to say that he's not the GOAT. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's what I mean when it comes to like Blake Bortles, and then you got people that just say, for example, David Michael throwing out Derek Carr. Well, all right, since you want to go like that, let's go stat for stat. Well, the stat for stat shows that the quarterback that I pick is better than your quarterback right now in the season.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you want to go with play, Blake Bortles is still out playing him with nothing around him. You can't even name a receiver that's going into the playoffs for Blake Bortles. Can you? Because I think Hearn's still hurt. Who else?
Was it Robert Woods playing with? No.
Well, Woods is in
And Buffalo
with the Rams.
Okay.
I thought he was the Bills.
Woods was
Yeah.
with the Rams. He's over there with the rookie cup, and they had a hell of a season this year.
The only person I remember is Mercedes Lewis, the tight end. That's the only person I know.
And my point exactly.
Well, they run into a bus all
My
this
point
weekend
exactly.
against.
So that's what
Pittsburgh.
shocked. That what shocked Pittsburgh, but I don't think even with the coach. Coach. He too intelligent. His IQ for football is too high. That's why I don't think
Beyond
Jacksonville gonna
earth.
pull it off.
Hey, remember I said like you had like three of the like out of the coaches in the league, best coaches, you got like 3 of the 4
Plus, it's
best
Jacksonville
coaches.
first go around.
Yeah, 3 of the 4 best coaches in the league right now is in the AFC. So